Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, Mr. Searly P. These are mods for Thursday the 14th of April. I couldn't do the mod review yesterday, so I'm doing it today on Good Friday. The Giants released some fact sheets. They did a fact sheet Thursday, and they did state they weren't working on Friday. That's why they did the fact sheets. That's for the next update coming, 1.4, and there's going to be some vehicles added in as part of that update. I'm taking as that they're not working. There's not going to be any mods on Good Friday. That's not to say someone won't press a button somewhere and we will get a load. So anyway, these are mods for Thursday the 14th. We've got some updates. The Borgo 3420 100 Paralink hoe drill and 71 300 air cart. The Borgo 3320 76 Paralink hoe drill and 7950 air cart. The Pertinger Impress 125 FC Pro, all by Giant Software, have had updates. The large cow barn 240 animals by Flusty94. The Lizard CSW weights by Red Phoenix, and the liftable pallets and big bags by Joss that was causing the infinite pallet spawns across everything. That's now been fixed and updated, and it says that the infinite pallet spawning is fixed. Now, that's not to say I didn't uninstall it, but I deselected it. When I deselected it and went back into my map, anything that had been created while that had been installed vanished. Now, that was before the update. Now, that's not to say that if you do the update and go back in, that all of your pallets won't have disappeared. What I did was went back into my previous save, sold all my pallets, everything that was there, then did it. That way I didn't lose anything, but that's up to you. But the liftable pallets and big bags by Joss has been updated. In front of me, we've got a ton to get. It's the weird and wonderful today. We've got some fantastic mods. We've got some real interesting different mods. We've got some absolute corkers. We've got some great mods returning, being ported over from FS19. So, yeah. In front of me, we've got the sports package. This is by Rajot GPLAY. It is 2.75 megabytes download. These are ones in the slots. You'll find these under build mode and decoration. We've got a basketball hoop. We've got football goalposts. Football. We've got a volleyball net, a basketball, and a football. Unfortunately, the football, you can't kick it. So, these are for the healthier, sportier farmers amongst us, or just for the people that want to play some and let people think they're fit. This, if you want to be looking like Goose or Maverick from Top Gun, if you think you look like that, you probably don't. So, like I say, these you'll find under decoration, under others. Basketball hoop 200, football post, goal post 200. Basketball 50, football 50, and 350 for the volleyball nets. You can pick up the basketball, you can throw it, you can pick up the football, and you can throw it. But like I say, unfortunately, you can't get this. Is not going to go in, so I don't know why I'm trying. I'd never be able to do that twice in a row. Anyway, that's the sports package by Rajot GPLAY. Next, we've got this. This is the Lizard 33-ton feed bin by Flusty94, 3.02 megabytes download, 3 slots on console. You'll find it under build mode and containers. It's 21 grand, holds 33,000 litres, 33 tonne. Now, this is one of those ones you can come over to it and you can fill it with seed, so you can simulate someone bringing. Oh, that's interesting. Mineral feed as well. Bringing stuff if you want to. But I did bring over a trailer with a little bit of seed, and you can put into it as well yourself. So you can manually tip into it, or you can have it delivered and pay for it, and then you just come over and you take your seed out when you want it. The Lizard 33-ton feed bin by Flusty94. Next, and this is what I was talking about. This is, I say it all the time about new mods, different mods, things that really kind of impress me. And it may not be realistic. I don't know. I haven't looked online to see if this exists or not. I think it's brilliant. I think it's so clever. This is the Drive Over Bunker Silo by Dr.Drulia and Squad CS. 2.76 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. It's 100,000 to buy. You'll find it under silos. There's also, for 1,500, there's a separate ramp. That is separate. Now, this is a massive silage clamp bunker silo. If I go up the ramp here, it does come standard with a ramp at the back. You can see the ramp going down. So the silo does have a ramp, but this is a separate one you can place, like I say, if you want, or you just want to place the ramp separately and spend hours jumping things off it. That's entirely up to you. But this, when you're filling up bunker silos, if you ever had trailers, you get stuck and you can't always pile it right to the top without using wheel loaders or conveyor belts, or however you go about filling up your silage clamps. You'll find it under build mode, like I said. It's under silos. That one just there. Like I said, 100 grand. Slot count will come down from 4 to 1, and then the ramp there's 1,500. Slot count's 1 anyway, so that's not a problem. If we go over here, I mean, you can come in, you can fill this silage clamp up like, as you normally do. I'm going to put that on so we can see. So fill level chaff, I've got a little bit in there already. If I go to here, shouldn't have to wait, you can tell, and press that. Honestly, it blew my mind. You can look at the pictures on the mod hub, and you think, oh, okay, that's fair enough. But the concept of it is amazing. So the point being, you drive over. These bars are slatted, or these bars are slatted. It leaves the gaps, and you can unload across the top. Everything falls through, which means you're not driving on the clamp, and you won't necessarily get stuck on the clamp when you're trying to fill it up. When you're done, you can lift that back open and you come on, you can pack your clamp however you normally can pack your clamp. But it just makes life a little bit easier for the filling of. You can get into all those nooks and crannies. Like I say, you can come in from the back. I put the ramp here, you're actually not got the ramp now. I thought I'd have to get a bit of a run up, but... So when you come onto it up the top, so I love it. Then just unload through. And then you just keep going up and down and backwards and forwards until it's done and full to the brim. Oops. Top of there. Yeah. And like I say, it's a simple thing, and I know I haven't looked online. I thought actually I would, and then I'd set everything up and completely forgot to look online. I don't know if anything like this exists in the real world. Whether it does or doesn't, I don't really care. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I think it works brilliantly. It's a clever idea. And then, like I say, once you're full up, lift the covers up and then compact your clamp however you want to go about it. Brilliant. That comes under the wonder. Well, weird and wonderful. It's something different and fantastic. The drive over bunker silo by Dr.Drulia and Squad CS. Next, we've got the washing station. This is by VertexDezign, 3.72 megabytes download, 5 slots on console. You'll find this under build mode and tools. It is 4,550 to buy. We have pipes going down. This is powered by LPG, a tank underground, I would assume. You don't have to fill it up. And it's jet washing station. Nice big open platform. Nothing around it to restrict your access, so any size vehicle can be brought over to it. You're better off flattening the ground wherever you are. Yeah, and it's a wash station by VertexDezign. Back by popular demand, I think people are going to be very happy with this. We've got the Slurry Yard, this by MISSYB, 1.42 megabytes download, 5 slots on console. You'll find this under build mode, productions and sell points, because it is a sell point. It's 50 grand. And once placed, you can sell your slurry, manure or digestate here. Slurry manure prices are pretty good. Digestate prices are very good. So if you've got loads of digestate you're not using, I know now with production change you can use digestate for some fertilizer production. Was it some seed production? Or just for putting on your fields. That's entirely up to you. Of course you can. But if you've got a load, you've been selling stuff at the biogas plant and you just don't know what to do with it, you can sell it here and you can make a tidy bit of money. Now, it does say on here that it has been updated. Why is nothing working? There we go. Crate demand is now supported as well as a price drop too. When you're selling, if you sell a lot here, watch, because the price will drop quite fast. So it's one of those things that if you're selling loads and loads and loads of slurry, just keep an eye on it. You might want to give it a bit of time for it to bounce back. But if we go into the menu here and we go up to our prices. So slurry, digestate, manure, slurry, digestate. If you look over to the right-hand side, we have got the slurry yard. It's 1,030 at the moment for manure and slurry, 1,031 for slurry. Digestate, 2,131, but that's falling. So if you've got digestate to sell, There are some maps on FS19 you might get 60, 70 for digestate if they had a digestate sell point, but this was always a bit of a winner. It does make using the BGA more profitable as well. I know there's various different options with the modular BGA for selling and doing other different productions with it, but yeah, if you've got a load left over and you just want to get rid of it, you absolutely can. So as I said, that's under build mode, that's under productions and sell points for 50 grand. That will tell us how much we're going to make in just a second. Let's turn the engine off. Oh, 47 grand so far, and I've still got 7,600 litres to sell. That's the Slurry Yard by MISSYB. Next, we've got the flat bottom silos are coming today. No, sorry, just reminded me of flat bottom girls. Flat bottom silos by the Flying Dutchman. Oh, actually, that was something I wanted to say. I just remembered. When I placed the football and the basketball, you see this? I don't know if you can see. We've got like a raised bit here. When I placed both the balls, it gave me a kind of, it raised the ground for some reason. Just be aware of that if you're going to get the basketball and the football. Anyway, flat-bottomed silos by the Flying Dutchman. 5.37 megabytes download. These are 5 slots for each of them, and there are quite a few of these. We've got silos under silos, and we've got silos under containers. Now, these are identical, apart from the fact one is from silos, one's from containers. We'll go and have a look. So under silos, we have got all of these. So for 25 grand, there's a 100,000 litre one, 30,000, 150,000 litre. Hang on, that can't be right. 25, 30, 24 grand for 200,000. Is that supposed to be 34 grand? No, anyway, for 200,000 litres. Something's wrong here. That can't... Oh, maybe it is. Maybe they're narrower. And a 100,000 litre, they're just different shapes, maybe. Okay. Now, if you buy the silos, this one, it will take multiple crop types. But whatever the capacity is the capacity. As you can see on the right-hand side there, that's a 100,000 litre bin. Those two combined come to 100,000 litres. So whilst you can put multiple crop types in it, the capacity is still 100,000 litres. So whatever combination you put in there, you can't go beyond 100,000 litres. The difference between that one, which is under silos, and this one, which is under containers, these ones will only take one crop type. So if you start to put wheat in there, that's it. Which is a bit more realistic to the real world when you think about it. If you've got a grain bin, you can't mix crops within a grain bin. So you've got the option, if you want to go more realistically, you can get any one of these. Price is the same, capacities are the same, slot counts are the same. It just means that you can only put one crop type in at a time. Now, these have to be filled and unloaded with augers. The augers don't come as part of the pack, they're standard in-game anyway. So, yeah, the silos are there. However way you want to go about it. I didn't put anything in that one. But yeah, you have to fill with an auger and then you swing the auger around, unless you've got two augers, or and then you take out with an auger two. That's the flat-bottomed silos by the Flying Dutchman. Through the back here, we have got the large grain storage by Didec 96, 17.17 megabytes download, 33 slots on console. You'll find this under build mode and sheds, and it's 62 grand for the base model. Again, you might want to flatten your ground. The price may vary if any landscaping has to be done in the process. Big old building. What I like about Didec 96, I'm assuming like for people like me who can never find the light switches, that's a big old clunky light switch, isn't it? It's like the sort of switch on the generator, like boom, with a big old handle. But anyway, light switch inside there. We've got two larger storage areas on the inside. This does have a workshop bench, but there's not a workshop trigger. Light switch is over here. But over here, if you want to get rid of that, we can go over to here, hide workshop. If you want to use the space for storage or whatever, and you don't want the clutter in the corner, you can remove it if you want to. The other side doesn't have a workshop trigger, but it does have the light switch, and then the end section in here has a light switch as well. So whatever you want to store in there is entirely up to you. Of course, I do like the supports for the walls here. So that's kind of thing, if you are going to put, well, in reality, if you were going to pile grain and stuff up on there, that supports the walls from bowing out and that kind of thing. But yeah, nicely made, nicely detailed. As I said, build mode and sheds, 62 grand for that. Moving on from there, well, now that's buildings and stuff down. Now onto vehicles. Now, this is where things get a little bit. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy because we have had a lot of mods, and we do get a lot of mods which are duplicates of ones we already have in game, or duplicates of mods that have already been out. And there are a few little tweaks. We have got a few of those today. I'm not gonna lie. We're starting off with the Strautmann Aperion 3401 by AgrarModding. 4.75 megabytes download, 7 slots on console. Now, as far as I can make out, there is an option on this, which we'll have a look at in just a second. As far as I can tell, the only difference between this and the base game model, I think price is the same, slot count might be one less. Capacity is identical, 52,000 litres. The only difference I can tell is this has got a liftable axle, and the standard in-game one doesn't, as far as I can tell. There may be something else I've missed, but these do have the option. The sides can go up and down those top sections, as you can see the pistons there, and the front bit does. But other than that, I think... no, we want that. And we want trailers. So the standard one there, the Aperion 3401, 90,500 by 8 slots, 52,000 litres. Yeah. Options on that. We've got an unload mechanics one there. Design 1, Design 2, which again on that standard one I can't tell what that does. Oh, is that for the back? You can open it and then you can roll the deck. Is that what it is? But anyway. And then we've got the modded one here, 90,500 to buy. It's 7 slots, so 1 slot less, 52,000 litre capacity, that's the same. Options on tyres are the same, Trelleborg, Michelin, BAT, VertexDezign, back again. I think it's only... Actually, no, to none of them. I don't think any of them have any options other than what you get. And then it says fill volume, original or structure. Now I've clicked both side to side and I can't see anything different. Now we do have a fill level option, fill volume option in the settings, which gives you a more realistic when it hits its weight limit, regardless whether it's full or not, it won't fill anymore. So I thought it'd be weird to have that as a separate option on top of the standard in-game one. So I bought one that does have it and one that doesn't, and there's no difference. They both took 52,000 litres. Everything seemed to be the same. Yeah, that's what I mean. Weird and wonderful. This has got me a little bit baffled. So under L1 and X, we can raise and lower the axle, as you can see there. You can see it when it goes down, taking the weight off. Very cool. Then we've got right stick side to side, so we can do that side. So if you're loading from a forage harvester, or you've got wheel loaders or telehandlers or whatever, and you just need it to be easy to load, and then we go right stick up and down. Oh, that's that end. Sorry, that one there does the flap at the front. And if we go around to that side, R1 and right stick side to side, raises and lowers that. And then we've got the option of tip side back, tip side grain door. Those are the options on the Strautmann Aperion 3401 by AgrarModding. Next we've got the Fliegl. So I'm so sorry. I feel bad because, like I always say, you know, everyone goes, oh, yeah, you're so out of order when you say stuff about you're lucky you get mods on console. Everyone's lucky to get mods. Console or PC, everyone's lucky to get them. If modders make mods and put them out there, anyone that gets modders, maps or mods from modders are lucky to have them. Of course we are. But I'm showing you what's here. What you know. Anyway, sorry. This is the Fliegl TMK273 by KeilerModding. 3.25 megabytes download, 5 slots on console. Well, the thing was, when I was going through the mod hub and I was installing these, I suddenly thought, well, that seems very familiar. That seems very familiar. That seems very familiar. Because they are. Again, nicely made. Nothing wrong with all that. If we go to trailers and we go along, you'll see that we come to the Fliegl TMK273 base game model, 55 grand, 40,000 litres, 5 slots. If we go along to the modded version, there, 40,000 litres, 55 grand. It is exactly the same slots, 5, which comes down to 1, takes everything. The only difference I can tell, because the options there are exactly the same, Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, VertexDezign, back again, is this has got reflective strips on the side of it. And the base game model doesn't. That, honestly, I can't find... Again, I might be missing something, but I can't find anything else. As far as I can tell, that's the only difference, is it's got reflective strips on the modded one. So, if you want a version that's got reflective strips, I'm not quite sure why I hooked up to that. That's there. 40,000 litre capacity, 55 grand. Yeah, the Fliegl TMK 273 by KeilerModding. Next, we've got this, the Brantner Z18051XXL. And yes, we do have a base game version of this too. There are a few subtle differences on this and a few different option changes, but again, yeah, we've got it already. We're going to trailers. Did I say what it was? It's 3.18 megabytes download, 5 slots on console. This is by Master LS. So we go across to, there we go. So the Z18051-2XXL PowerFlex, the standard in-game one there, 18,500 litres, 5 slots, 23 grand. As you'll see there, it's got a front little bit on it, and the chassis and everything underneath is black. We've got some options for cover and colour and that kind of thing. So if we go along to the modded version, which is, where are we? Did I go past it? That one there, same price, slot count's the same, capacity is up a little bit, so it's 19,200 litres rather than 18,500, so a little bit bigger. Chassis on this one is red rather than black. We don't have the ladders on the front as standard. As far as I can tell, I think the tyre choices were the same. We've got Continental Standard or Standard 2, then you've got Trelleborg as wide, Michelin wide, BKT wide, VertexDezign Standard or wide, and back to Continental. Design, I think was a different option on this one. We've got standard or the pedestal, whereas the other one comes with it automatically. 75 to add that on. And then cover, we've got no, and whereas the other one just has a cover or not, this one's got flat ends, or you can go for the, it says beat tip, the beat tip ends, and then cover. I think the other one comes like that already. And then main colour option, any one of those. We can change it to if you wish. This does have a tip side rear, tip side grain door, tip side left and right, and it has a rear trailer hitch as well. That's the Brantner Z18051XXL by Master LS. I'm going to jump straight to these as we're right next to them. So next we've got the Deguillaume, Deguillaume? I'm sorry if I said that wrong, Deguillaume pack. Deguillaume. I keep saying it and saying it the same every single time, so I'm saying it differently. It's weird how you can say something in your head and it sounds perfect, and the perfect accent until it comes out your mouth and then it doesn't. 20.8 megabytes downloaded by Univers Simu modding. We have got 2 of the Deguillaume trailers, the felines. We've got a single axle and a double axle. The options on both are the same. We'll have a look at those in just a second. And then we've got the 416 muck spreader. This is all 3 are in this pack. Nicely detailed. Lots going on. Also, I thought while we're on the trailers, we might as well get all the trailers done. If we go across to, where are we? So the feline 11. Sorry, I'm having a day of it. 22 grand for the base model. It's like a single axle. 14,070 or 17,000 litres, and then we got, and this is what I'm saying, the other one, all the rest of the options are the same, it's just the capacities are different, and obviously it's a double axle, this is a single. We've got Trelleborg, Michelin, Nokian, Mitas, and back to Trelleborg. Trelleborg with standard and wides, Michelin, standard, wides, Nokians, just like that, Mitas, I think that's all standard wides, isn't it? Yeah. Main colour option, we can have the chassis in the back section black, and then design colour, we can have it yellow, so you can have either of those options. The only difference on this one, all the other options are the same. The capacity is 23,250 standard, then 27,000 litres, and then 31,000 litres if you go for the largest option. I just hooked up to this one only because I really like the unload animation is very smooth, not too fast, but it's just nice. It's a really nice high tip, smooth operation, does the job, looks good. Yeah, very nice indeed. And then we've got the muck spreader. Actually, we'll have a look at that. Yeah, no. It's going to be one of those days. Manure spreader. Go to the very end. The Deguillaume 416, 48,500. Slot count on that one was 6. Comes down to 1. 140 horsepower required. It will spread out to 14 meters, capacity of 16,000 or 16,500 with the little sideboards on there. We've got Trelleborg, hang on, we've got Trelleborg, Michelin, Mitas, and back again. Trelleborg, standard, and I think all of those have a standard and an inverted wheel, and then license plate option. I don't always say the license plate option, but you can see it's there. You can change the license plate configurations if you wish. So what we'll do, just grab that and we'll have a look at it spreading out to 14 meters. Again, I'm always intrigued when you get muck spreaders and things like that of the opening animations and those kind of things, because each one seems to be slightly different. You can double apply, so activate double application rate if you want to do all your fertilising in one pass. Unfold, and so it does both of those at the same time. Look at the operation on that, that's cool. Like that. And then away we go. Spreading our manure, 14 metres. Nice animation, nice bit of steam coming off the muck there as it's going. Turn that off, close it down, and there you have it. The Deguillaume pack by Univers Simu Modding. Next we're going to go to... I think we're going to whiz out to this one here. We've got the Robert. The Robert F2800 by E.T.A La Marchoise, which is this. It is a mulcher. It will do grass as well, so if you want to knock your grass back but you don't want to leave a swath behind, if you want to clear yards and stuff like that, but you don't necessarily or can't necessarily get in equipment to pick it all up again, there are mowers and ride-on mowers, Profi hoppers and things like that, but this will do mulching in your field as well. It is 6.13 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. It's 2.8 meters wide. You'll find it in tools and mulchers. 7,200 to buy. There are no options on it. Just is what it is, and it does all it does. Let's turn it on. Drop it down. Skids hit the floor. Away you go. We're mulching. Now, obviously, I've got a very big tractor on that, and you can get away with a much smaller tractor. And obviously, this is designed for sort of smaller fields and farms and that kind of thing, because doing a big field with one that size is going to take quite a while, but it does the job. It mulches. That's what it's supposed to be doing. The Robert F2800 by E.T.A La Marchoise. Next, we've got this. I'm going to have to check the time in a second. I'll go with this next, I think. This is the SIP Favorit 254 SIP, 4.64 megabytes download. It is, well, 2 slots and 5 slots on console, which will become apparent in a moment. This is by PrivatPrivat and Oldenfarm. Now, standard in-game, this is a windrower. And the windrower, it comes with the little side bit on it as standard, which is great. So my first thought was, okay, well, we've got another version of the windrower. So there's the standard in-game Favorit 254. We go along to the end. That's where you'll find the windrower flap. The windrower flap is 2 slots, was it? Yep, 2 slots. And you can have it as the Favorit 254, or you can have it as the Sep Nussel Vario. So you need to buy that separately. And then you go to Tedders. It says turners. It says about turning. I was like, turning? Turning what? Tedders. It's because it turns everything over. If we go to the turners, the Favorit 254 Wender is there. Same price. Slot count is 5, comes down to 1, and you can have it as the Favorit 254 or the Sep Nussel Vario, and then you can change the lower link to the ball one or without if you want. Those are the 2 options. So then what you do is you get your flap on the side, and you can pick it up by hand, and you take your flap and you put the flap over next to your windrower. Turn it on, and what should happen is, if I get close enough, the option to... Why is that not coming up? It's weird. Adjust. There we go. Puts it on. Right, so here's the thing. If I run this normally. And then just switch to that, drop it down. Kind of puts it down at an angle. We go along. So like that, it's tedding. So whilst it is a windrow, it is windrowing, but it's tedding at the same time. So I can use it as a tedder, which is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. We've got a tedder. Because you find it under tedders, but it's not just a one-trick pony. If I now do L1 and right stick side to side and put the flap out like that, it doesn't ted anymore. Why is it not windrowing? It was working fine before. I did this up on the hill. It was perfect. There we go. I just hadn't lowered the windrow. I went to the outside bit and lowered the windrow. So you can either have it with the flap down and it will just windrow your grass and you've got a windrower, or if you lift the flap up and out of the way, it will windrow but ted your grass. So it does both at the same time. That's pretty cool. Handy bit of kit to have. I like that. Turn it off. We do have the option as well. I'm not quite. I think it might be for hillsides and that kind of stuff. L1 and right stick up and down. We can tilt it that way. Bring it back down again. And then R1 and right stick up and down. We can tilt that way. So I guess it's for slopes and inclines and that kind of stuff, for getting the level just right so it will work properly. All I would say is, yeah, when you do lower that down, if you do want to use it like that, you need to make sure that you'll switch to the right tool. So you'll be right on the back one, and it's on lowered. You need to make sure the windrow is lowered, otherwise it won't windrow as it's supposed to. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm going to move that out of the way. The MISSYB Favorit 254 by PrivatPrivat and Oldenfarm. Next, the reason I pulled this long behind is because I think I need the ground for it. Now this is the Evers Agro WBG3270 by VertexDezign. 9.16 megabytes download, 4 slots on console, 2.7 meters wide, loads of detail, really nicely made. And this is under Grassland Care. And when you first look at it, you think, well, that's a subsoiler, isn't it? It looks like a subsoiler. But I can't remember who it was I saw using one. It might have been Tom Pemberton. Might have been someone else. I'm trying to think who it was. Now this is to remove soil compaction under the ground, but it doesn't disturb the ground. So what it does, these openers just slice the ground open. The blades, and these are 3 long blades, the blades sink into the ground. They slice through the ground, and then these are basically like closing wheels. They just make sure the ground is closed behind it. So you've got a very thin slice. They go down fairly deep, and what they do is they cut through any compaction that's lower in the ground, which allows more water to penetrate further into the ground. It aerates the soil a little bit. That's what they're designed to do. Because over time, you get that compaction, especially if you're going backwards and forwards, you're cutting the grass, whatever you're doing, forage harvesting, that kind of thing. So it just aids in that. Now, as far as I can tell, because it's Grassland Care, I think what should happen is it will add a fertilising state. I think, from looking at the pictures, I hope it does. So what we do is lower sod loosener. There you go. Ground went a little bit darker there. So the blades have gone deep into the ground. As we drive forward, we're getting fertilising state. So that's all it's doing, is it's slicing into the ground, removing any soil compaction lower down. Now obviously you want the grass to be removed before you do this normally. And it gives you a fertilising state, which is free because you're not paying anything for the fertiliser, it's just doing it and aiding in all that. That's what it does, that's what it's for. Pretty cool bit of kit, that. Weird and wonderful, I guess. Right, moving on from there. That was by VertexDezign. We've got some returning favourites and some new things too. The returning ones have had some very interesting updates. This is the Kombi. The old Kombi van's back, 5.54 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. This is by Erik, Isac and Agro Mods. As you can see, we've got 2 different variants of it. We've got a school bus. And then we've got, I'm not sure what that is, sand dune buggy. Yeah, I mean, it's bit bonkers, really. You'll find this under vehicles and cars. The Kombi's 22 grand. The slot count is 8 will come down to 1. It's 70 horsepower. We can have design no or grid extension on the front, like so. We can have sound box in the back, so you can have a speaker set put in the back if you want the sound box in there. Then we've got stickers, Agro Pomonia. And then we've got school bus, and then I think it means rural, isn't it? Rural, it's rural, just a rural bus, I guess, that goes around and collects people. Oh yeah, I suppose it would be just a bus that goes around out in the rural areas. Kind of makes sense, though. Then we've got wheel setup standard 2, off-road 2. Then we've got standard 3, 4, 5, back to standard again. Main colour, we've got some flat colours, slightly more glossy, and then we've got satin, and then proper sort of chromed finish, and then your standard colours further down. So I think I went for the satins on them. Whichever you want to go for, it's entirely up to you. Design colour does the bumpers. Then rim colour does, well, the rim colour. Like that. And then we've got license plate option as well, should you wish. Now if we jump into the school bus. Of course it is. Lights. If we go to, let's swing around that way a little bit so we can see a bit better. L1 and X. Unfolds the car, does side door. We do have straps all the way inside, so if you do want to put pallets and stuff in there, bags, whatever you want to throw in there, you absolutely can. We do have the option, I remember this being on the previous version as well, R1 and right stick up and down, we can open and close the right door, but it's very, very slow. That's, I'm pushing my stick, right stick, all the way up, all the way down, it's quite slow. Under L1 and right stick side to side, does the back door again, pretty slowly, fairly slow. And then the side door as well, let's just get that closed first. Side door 2. Interior, nice visibility out the window. Mirrors, they're boxy but good. So, yeah, if you're in the market for one of these, and then we've got the Baja buggy version if you want to go for the monster off-road. Doors and windows, everything's just the same on this. Do have straps in it as well. This is just the slightly more bonkers version. Rear trailer hitch on it too. Honestly, it's making me smile. Very cool. So there you go, the Kombi by Erik, Isac and Agro Mods. Next we've got this, and I think it looks great like this. This is the Bureau 6105. We do have a standard one in game already. There's a few different options on this one. This by Kelty Barrow. It's 9.35 megabytes download, 14 slots on console. The standard version has fairly limited options and is only 100 horsepower. This one goes to 115, and then obviously the various different options you can see on it already. This is under small tractors. The standard in game one there is 39 grand and 13 slots. This is 14 slots, so one more. Is it really one more, MISSYB? Thanks you for letting us know that 14 is one more than 13. So, sorry. The 6105, 39 grand, same price. Options: Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, Vredestein, Nokian, and back again. I'm not going to read through all of them as we go, but under Trelleborg, this is the only one Trelleborg that has the rear narrow twin option like that. Michelin, Continental, Mitas, Vredestein, Nokian, and then back to Trelleborg. Front of the retacher, no, quick, power or off. We've got 100 horsepower or 115 horsepower for an extra grand, a bit of more horses. Then we've got options for the colour. So you can have it, that means that looks pretty cool as it is, like that. Design colour, we can go for that or that. Hang on, no. Or that. And then rim colour, Again, any one of those options, you can mix and match however you want. And license plate option 2. I think with the wide tyres as well, it looks massive on the back of there. It reminds me a little bit, look at the back of that, of Millennial Farmers, the old Minneapolis Moline. It's got that kind of... I know it's not the same tractor, I know it's not, but sounds great. Really nicely detailed, looks great, 115 horsepower. I do like it in these colours as well. First person, looks like that. Very nicely detailed. Very cool. There you go. The Bureau 6105 by Kelty Borough. Next, the amount of people that messaged me yesterday. You have to remember, guys, I couldn't do the mod review yesterday because I had things I needed to do. But this is what this is my job now. I make Let's Plays, map tours, mod reviews. You know, the amount of people that messaged me and said, I don't know if you're aware yet, but I was aware. Carlos is back. The Landy. I know it's not a Landy, it's a Santana, but it's a Landy. It's a Landy. The Landy's back by AgrarModding. The Lizard Santana 88, 19.87 megabytes download, 11 slots on console. It looks even more gorgeous than before. This is the standard version. I don't know if we're going to get the pickup version. I hope so, because I did like the pickup version as well. A few nice subtle tweaks. It had an update not before the end of, just before the end of FS19, and this has had, it's brought those tweaks over with it, and I just think it's great. And this has got another reason I love this. The suspension I want on all the pickups, all the vehicles that are obviously not all the tractors, but all those things. This has it, and it's always baffled me if this has it. I don't know what AgrarModding's secret is, but the suspension movement and travel is fantastic on this mod. That's why I did a Land Rover trialling episode on 6 Ashes, because it was just brilliant. I cannot say enough good stuff about this. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love it. So, you'll find it under cars. 50 grand for the base model. We've got the option of Continental or Trelleborg. Under Continental, we've got off-road or street tyres. Or street twos, if you want to go for the fancy rims, like that. Then we've got under Trelleborg, we've got mud or mud twos, which I think was what I went for. Now, design standard or spare front wheel on the front. We can have a spare wheel on the back. We can have a gas can on the back. We can have a spare wheel and gas can on the front and back, or all off again. So I think that was what I went for. Pretty sure it's what I went for. Then lights, we've got default. We've got a beacon on the back, if you want a beacon on the back. We've got a bull bar on the front with lights, or we can have beacon and bull bar, or off. If you want to go with the beacon, you can kind of go with a RF police type thing, or whatever you want to. Attaches front trailer hitch, so it puts those hitches on the front bull bar, or on the front bumper, should I say. No roof rack. With the roof rack you get straps, so you can put stuff on the roof as well. Then main colour option, anything on this palette here. There's a few different kind of, I say Land Rover colours, I guess they are. Camel trophy, it's a pity you haven't got the camel trophy. I know you can't, probably for all sorts of reasons, but the camel trophy colour I think is fantastic. Again, you can mix and match, but however you want to go about it. I tend to opt for that green, the olive green, not for that, for that, and then the roof. The standard one is that desert sand, but actually I prefer the beige. But again, your choice. Rim colour, again, anything you want on there. But we've got a polished metallic, chrome, silver metallic, pearl white, and then there's of the sort of metallics. We've got the stainless steel, and then anything else you want to go for. If you want to go sort of black them out, I just think it looks great. And then license plate. Oh yeah, let's jump in, start it up. Weirdly, and then lights, I didn't go for the beacon option, but straps on the roof rack. There's no doors or windows that open on this one. Because you've got the roof rack, you don't need to open the back on this. But I'll show you what I mean about the suspension. And like I said, you can see it moving already. A lot of the pickups and stuff are a bit kind of clunky. But when you go up onto ramps and steep inclines, you see that movement in the suspension. Look at it. It's just done so well. Those leaf springs doing their job. It's brilliant. It's a fantastic mod. It's still a fantastic mod. I love the fact you've got slightly more. It's got a bit of lean now. The back is a little bit higher in the front, so it's got a sort of slightly more aggressive angle to it. But it's a brilliant mod, and for doing stuff like if you want to do a bit of off-roading, it doesn't look wrong. When I came over here with the motorbike the other day, it didn't really kind of do what I was hoping it was going to, but this does. Look at the way everything, the axles and tyres and everything are doing what they should be. It's a corker, and still loving it. Can I not tip this? There we go. So there we go. It's back. I love it. I'm happy. Are we going to be still every single Let's Play I do? Probably. Doesn't matter where in the world I end up. Yep. Going to have a Land Rover. So there we go. The Lizard Santana 88 by AF-Modding. Gorgeous. Right, next. And another absolute beauty. This is brilliant. The Liebherr XPower by Woodcraft Modding, 21.16 megabytes download, 15 slots on console. This does come with a load of gear, and I've just gone with this one. This is a high dump 8,500 or 8,900 litre bucket. The options on this are tremendous. I mean, look at all the cages and all this protection. Big old bumpers, all optional. You can change all sorts of stuff on this, and it's great. This is in its mining configuration. Now, I know on console we don't have the mining mod or anything like that, but it has a mining option on it. It looks great. So if we go to our wheel loaders, on the end, the XPower is 245 grand for the base model. We have got standard or blackline or mining. We've got Continental, Trelleborg, Michelin, Mitas, BKT, Vredestein, Nokian and back. Under Continental we've got Industrials, Standards, Wides. I think all of them have got an option of Standard and Wides pretty much. I think it's only the first one that's got the Industrial. Yeah. Vredestein only has that option. Nokian only has that option, but it's a great tyre tread. Then we've got without handrails, we can have left handrails, left and right handrails, or no. I think I went with both. Then we've got beacon without. We can have beacon 1, beacon 2, beacon 3, beacon 4. Then we've got back protection without, crash protection, hood protection, crash protection and hood protection. Now, considering it was me driving, I went for everything because I thought, you know, why not? Front protection without, we've got protection around the lights. Again, it's me driving. Hydraulic protection puts a cover over the ram, both if you want. Then steering wheel, we can have steering wheel inside or we can have a joystick. So if you want to, you can have the joystick. When you get in, it puts the other arm down, it's just joystick control. Windows, we've got tints, normal, black tint, half tint, full tint, back to normal. Engine setup, 224 horsepower, 249 horsepower. And then we've got license plate option on there as well. If we go into our tools and we go down to, where are we? Wheel loaders. We can scroll across. We've got these all come with it. Like I said, I didn't get them all out. We've got a pallet fork. This pallet fork does what a pallet fork should. No options available, just like that. We've got a log fork as well. 2 slots. Again, no options on colour. High dump bucket. We've got a wheel loader earth shovel, which has the prongs to the right. It's got tooth, scraping edge, fast coupler, wheel loader. And then we've got a wheel loader loading shovel. Again, tooth, scraping edge, or wheel loader mining shovel. With the and that one is the largest capacity. Yeah, 8,500 litre, 3,400 litre, 3,700, 3,100 litre. So I went for the high dump. Let's start it up. Door opens and closes. Wheel goes into position. Beacon. Lights. It's an absolute beast. And that bucket looks absolutely colossal. Now, whilst we don't have mining, and I've got it in the mining configuration, because we've got rocks now, and I know I did it on Calms, and I kind of set my own quarry up and filled it with rocks before I started the Let's Play and that kind of thing. For that kind of thing, it's absolutely perfect. You can set yourself something up, a facsimile of on console if you wanted to, but it's a fantastic mod. Loads of options, loads of details. Interior, really nicely detailed too. So looking at all the moving parts and absolute corker. And there we go. I think I've covered everything. I hope I've covered everything. That's it for the mods for Thursday the 14th of April. Like I said, I'm not sure if we're going to get any on Good Friday. They did say they're not working, but that's not to say someone won't press a button and launch mods. I've obviously come back to this because I just want to drive it around because it's brilliant. Interior, I didn't even show the interior. Looks like that. It's a Land Rover. It looks like, very cool. I hope you found all of this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.